The signal didn't point exactly towards the house, but to the garden. I had to figure out where they stuck this you know, the radio thingy. I was able to cross the garden without being noticed by anyone, following the signal up to the gardener's shed. I found the device behind one of those stacked crates. Following Alice's instructions, I put the device I had with me on top of it. Then Alice would be able to...
Did I really need to do that, Mama dear?
Sure you did, idiot. Didn't you see that bunch of fleas was going to bite my hindquarters?
If you say so,
Der Hund.
Mama.
Don't hold a grudge on me now. We followed that shorty this far, but where did he go?
Come out of there, Stallone!
Not in the garbage, you idiot! He must be in the shed. Now be quiet and let's wait for him to come out.
Trapped again. Mom and Eugene didn't want to drop the ball. To get out of that shed, I would have to devise one of my genius ideas, and fast.
Okay, schnell speichern. Wir haben ja mitbekommen, wir können sterben.
I could build a ladder using what I found in the shed, and the box seemed like something I should remember. But for the base, I need something more solid.
Okay, was Solides? Den Kühlschrank.
That fridge was emptier than mine. I just found a honey pot that could be useful.
Okay, nicht das. Kieselsteine.
I picked up a handful.
Okay, ja, die Toilette können wir
The toilet
verschieben.
could have been useful, but it was secured with screws.
Da gibt's doch bestimmt Werkzeug für.
I'd have picked up the sprayer if it didn't contain a strange and probably toxic greenish liquid. I don't know why, but I've always had a passion for vaporizers. That rope might have been useful if it wasn't rotten from its first to last fiber. The shears were inviting, but I would have felt like a worm depriving the gardener of his best tool. Nah, who am I kidding? I didn't steal them only because they were all rusty. Grope a statue made of grass? Why not? The toilet and crates might have helped me get a better view of the situation, but not like that. Maybe?
Ach, ich Idiot.
Investigator, cook, tightrope walker, and now also plumber. My portfolio was becoming impressive. I never thought I'd say something like this, but the toilet bowl was perfect for the job. Well, now the shed had a comfortable floor toilet.
So, dann können wir... Ach Quatsch, so die Kiste draufstellen, wa?
Another step in building my stairway to heaven.
Und wir können hochklettern.
How long do we have to stay
Die
here,
Bienen.
Mama?
All the time we need, you redneck. Sooner or later, he'll decide to come out of there.
Die haben den Hund gekillt.
Poor animal had been put to rest forever. I found the
Can
power
we
of
go
persuasion
now?
that woman had over
No.
Eugene horrifying.
Ey, das ist nicht in Ordnung. Können
And
wir...
now?
No!
It might be a good idea, but she was too far.
Now?
No!
Better think about it.
Mama, it started raining.
Don't talk nonsense, you big monkey! Can't you see there's not even a cloud in the sky?
Oh,
But I was sure that...
okay.
Can we go now?
No!
Mama!
Der Panda.
Eugene, you idiot! Get back here immediately!
Oh komm, Bing. Nimm doch einfach die Waffe mit.
2-0 for me, Mama. I knew that wouldn't be the last meeting with the two henchmen. But for the time being, I had dodged a bullet. Then I saw Bobby on the ground. Eugene had clearly let him fall as he ran. It was a great relief to have him back in my possession. It was high time to beat it.
Okay, jetzt bin ich mal gespannt.
Hey.
How's it going?
The device is gone. I'd like to specify that I risked my life once again to make it possible.
Perfect. We should have what we need to continue with our search. There. Now we have all 3 signals we'll use for tracking.
And how do we proceed now?
Do you see the light trails? They show the direction of the outgoing calls from the radio towers. I just have to select the radio tower to manipulate and use the 2 arrows on the lower left to rotate the signal.
But how will you know when you've set them the right way?
The signals will become more defined once they're arranged in their correct orientation. And once all 3 are done, we'll have the general position of Rodwed's cell phone at the moment the calls were received.
Hey, I actually understood that.
Now let me work.
Okay. Wir können eine Quelle auswählen.
I'd be out of the area of interest.
Okay.
I'd be out of the...
Das wird dunkler.
I'd be out of the...
Okay.
Lars, come here. I think I got it. The signals seem well defined. These are the exact directions of the phone calls. If we consider only the area where the 3 signals overlap and narrow it down to the circular area we're inspecting...
We obtain a decidedly small zone. In the Everglades. That would make sense.
In that vicinity, there only seems to be an old, unused building I cannot find any official papers for.
We found it. This is the place they brought Kathrin. I'd bet my hat. We have to go, now.
Hold on. We need to think carefully. You always go and charge in without a plan, and as a result, you've risked your life many times since this case started. We must be extra cautious instead. We have very few hours of light left, so we might as well wait until tomorrow. In the meantime, we will formulate a safe approach plan. We could even consider involving Burton. After all, we're dealing with a teenager's life here.
I'm not entirely convinced, but all right. For once, I'll try to restrain myself.
Perfect. At this point, would you mind if I stay over? We could save a few precious hours.
Be my guest. The bed is right over there. On the other hand, I can see that you and the sofa are meant for each other, so I don't want to come between you.
You're really the last of the knights, Lazarus Bundy.
What would happen to Kathrin Mulzberg if I didn't make my move in time? And besides, how much would I expose Alice by involving her in all this? Those were the questions that kept me awake. The answers to those same questions finally helped me to understand what I had to do. I was going to be alone for the last time.
Hauen wir einfach so ab?
I reached the place in the middle of the night. I had to leave Green Dart a few hundred feet away because of the rugged and swampy terrain. A lonely wooden building arose in the desolate Everglades landscape. There was no light that hinted of a human presence, but I was sure I was in the right place.
Okay, das Fahrrad hat überlebt.
I needed to arm myself before proceeding.
Na toll.
Alligators. The Everglades were haunted by those fanged demons. With a single blow, I had lost my source of light and my only defensive weapon. Oh, to hell with me, and my dislike of firearms. The structure was dark and silent. I didn't think there was anyone inside.
Na, das klären wir gleich ab, ob da jemand drin ist. Was haben wir denn? Wir haben ein Fenster. Ich guck mal durch.
The frame was hopelessly blocked, and the only room to maneuver was through the crack that remained ajar. I couldn't reach it. With that, I could reach the latch keeping the hatch closed. The lower hatch of the door was open. The hatch was designed for a small animal, not a human, so I could never squeeze through it. The hatch was designed for a small...
Ah, warte mal, jetzt ist... Nee, jetzt nicht mehr.
Obviously, the door was closed.
Wir haben leider nichts.
I could see the key inserted in the keyhole.
Ah, okay. Haben wir irgendwas Spitzes? Ja, haben wir. Komm.
The trick of the key dropping on a newspaper and then slipping it under the door only worked in the movies. But I had another idea in mind.
Ja, haben wir.
I'd broken my very useful antenna, but at least I was able to poke the key out of the lock and make it fall on the floor of the cabin.
Okay.
The trick had worked to perfection. The shed was completely empty, with the exception of an abandoned envelope on the table.
Oh, die spielen mit uns.
With a trembling hand, I picked up the envelope. I couldn't believe what I saw. Me, climbing the wall of Mulzberg's residence. So somebody had been spying on me since the beginning of my investigation? The bowling night with Alice. I'd exposed that girl beyond all acceptable limits. The interrogation of Duke Ravendish. So they knew I was looking for the Citlalique. That's why Radwood was so calm. Just as I thought, the daring escape from the Citlalique aboard M's raft. Those fanatics had been following my moves step by step.
Look what we have here.
Oh.
I prepared a little show for you, Detective. Now relax and let me work. The spectacle is under construction.
You.
Not another step, Detective, where I might lose control of this old, trembling hand and make a fine mess. Hands in the air and no tricks.
If you so much as touch her...
For goodness sake, Bundy, do what he tells you.
Wise suggestion, Eric. We don't want this innocent creature to suffer any premature pain, do we?
For the love of God, let my grandson go.
First you give me your daughter, and now you pretend to play the role of the thoughtful grandfather.
The kidnapping wasn't planned. Mulzberg had promised not only Kathrin, but also the baby born of your relationship.
But it seems that the word of a businessman carries very little weight these days.
I was blinded. All the power you promised me isn't worth the sacrifice of...
Eric. This knife is becoming heavier and heavier.
If this is really the end of the road, at least I want to know why.
This is not a pathetic theatrical performance with a happy ending, Detective.
I've been watching you, so I know you didn't warn anybody about your solo plan, because this is what you're used to do, isn't it? Following your ambition without any compromise, putting your work ahead of everything else, ahead of family, leaving it behind in the name of your ambition, ahead of the few friends you've had.
I fulfill the emptiness of your existence. That's why you desperately need me.
And that's why you can only watch helplessly. So now, if you don't mind...
No!
Hold it right there! Keep your hands up where I can see them.
Like this?
What the hell was that?
Where did he go?
The window, quick!
Ja, lasst ihn hängen! Lasst ihn hängen!
Kathrin Mulzberg was rushed to the hospital, while the Everglades were scoured from the ground up by Burton's men. Radwood and the baby had disappeared without a trace. Too many questions were left unanswered. How had Radwood gained these mysterious powers? And what was the role of the doctor? Only one thing I was sure of. I had failed. I stayed out late that night. I didn't have the guts to face Alice. If she hadn't warned Burton, things would have gone even worse. Radwet had tracked all my movements. Every bit of progress I thought I had made was just one more step toward the ending he had prepared. His ending. I underestimated my enemy. Or maybe I just overestimated myself. I couldn't keep deluding myself like that. Maybe I should... drop my last line of defense.
Lars. We can't let this thing stop us. We just need...
I just need to go to bed and forget about everything.
That's it? Is this how you built your fame? By leaving things half done?
I have no energy left.
I don't believe you. Not after what I've seen.
Listen to me.
You walked on unstable ledges. You twice broke into the den of murderers you were after.
Alice.
You risked it all to save that girl. And now...
I'm dying of cancer!
Oh.
What? You run out of words? Didn't your kinetic superpower see that coming? I know what you're thinking. You're thinking it'd take tremendous effort to hide such a disease. And you're right. And yet it's far worse than you think. Having to pretend every minute in front of others. In front of your boss, your colleagues, your neighbors, the supermarket cashier. Having to look confident, brilliant, unshakable, invincible. Yeah, I lied. I created such a well-orchestrated charade that I ended up believing it myself. I lied because I didn't want to suffer the look on your face right now. Concern, sympathy, pity. I don't want anyone looking at me like that. Not once. I was the best at what I did. I was the detective who flushed out all the cruelest and smartest criminals on the East Coast. And I need to be that guy again. Even if my body betrays me and stabbing pains pierce my mind. I was hoping this case would be the last blaze of glory for Lazarus Bundy. But maybe it's beyond my reach. I can't face all of this, Alice. Not in this condition. I can't stop them. The masquerade is over.
Damit ist der erste Part erledigt. Zu Beginn des Spiels haben wir gesehen, dass das Spiel aus 2 Parts besteht. Also der erste Part wurde entwickelt, dann gab es diesen hübschen Abschluss. No? Und dann gab es noch den zweiten Part, der die Geschichte zu Ende führt. Und zumindest was die Kritiken in den Kommentaren sagt, der weitaus nochmal den ersten Teil übertrumpft, inhaltlich und auch mit allem drum und dran. Das will wir auch nicht heute mehr anfangen. Heute werden wir wahrscheinlich, ich bin mir noch nicht sicher, wir gucken, wenn das Spiel jetzt hier vom Abspann und so weiter durch ist, gucken wir dann vielleicht noch ein bisschen. Kurze Zusammenfassung. Ich finde den Grafikstil wirklich sehr interessant. Ich finde das Spiel an sich auch sehr gut. Ich finde diesen Mix aus Detektiv-Puzzle und jetzt natürlich wieder so ein Touch-Mystery. Das hat so ein Mischmasch aus unterschiedlichsten Spielen, hat es so gerade Intus, ne? Die man in den Tagen und in vielen Jahren gespielt hat. Also man findet so ein bisschen Baphomets Fluch. Sherlock Holmes findet man da drin. Also die Anspielungen sind ja mehr als eindeutig. Ich glaube sogar, dass da aufgrund der Art und Weise, wie er sich gegeben hat, der Lazarus, ne, das ist jetzt natürlich sehr theatralisch am Ende, dass auch so ein bisschen Rufus aus Deponia mit reinspielt, ne? Weil er doch ein bisschen slapstickartig ist, aber kein Dummer ist. Er klammert sich halt an diese Rolle, weil es die Rolle ist, mit der er berühmt geworden ist und die er halt auch ausüben kann, aber die Krankheit auf der anderen Seite kann er nicht mehr verstellen, spielen und so wie man den Blick gesehen hatte, scheint es vielleicht, dass Alice einen etwas wichtigen Teil im zweiten Teil einnehmen wird. Guck mal, Fabrice Breton von Cowcat, den habe ich auch unterstützt im Kickstarter. Da kommt das Spiel, glaube ich, Anfang nächsten Jahres raus. Das hat mit Probe gespielt hier. Genau, während Kickstarter-Kampagne mit dem Krokodil. Brock hieß das Spiel, genau. Also optisch, denke ich mal, hat man sich sehr, sehr bedient an bestimmten Sachen. Also mir persönlich hat das Spiel sehr gut gefallen. Es war ein bisschen dialoglastig, zugegeben, aber da ist ein kleiner Textfehler da drin. Es war ein bisschen dialoglastig, aber es war wirklich tiefgründig und etwas Noir-Style-mäßig, aber nicht so wie man es sonst kennt. Ne? Also dadurch, dass das Lazarus oder Lars sehr oft eben halt monologiert hat. Also ich fand es wirklich rundum sehr gut. Die Sprecher waren rundum sehr gut. Und das für so ein kleines Projekt, ne, ein Indie-Projekt, ist wirklich sehr gut. Nee, schlimm war es nicht, nein. Aber es war manchmal so, es war aber eine gute Geschwindigkeit. Es gibt ja sehr oft Spiele, die dann so, ja, und dann ging ich nach oben. Du weißt schon, was die Leute eigentlich sagen, aber du kannst halt auch nicht einfach skippen, den Dialog, weil das ja, ne? Und du sitzt dann, und hier war es alles recht flüssig, es waren auch die Pausen, Prim Adventure Game auch, okay. Auch die Pausen waren zwischendurch eben halt so wie in natürlichen Gesprächen, also ich fand es wirklich sehr gut. Es war auch weitestgehend glaubhaft alles. Das ist jetzt nicht glaubhaft, das hat jetzt nichts mit Realität zu tun, sondern das war stimmig, ne, das Ganze. Die Welt war stimmig, die Charaktere waren stimmig, auch so diese zufälligen Begegnungen und das Zusammenführen von Opa und Enkelkind fand ich halt putzig, auch eben halt mit den Teddybären. Es war von vornherein klar, dass der Teddybär, den wir da schon gefunden hatten, irgendwie eine Rolle übernimmt und dann kam dann, ja, ich habe meinen Panda, ja, okay, ne. Konsistent, ja, genau, konsistent. Oder stimmig, passte. Wir werden es weiterspielen. Bloß, wie gesagt, nicht heute Abend. Das heißt, wir werden es uns in den nächsten Tagen, wenn es wieder auf der Timeline ist, kommt das rauf und wir werden auch den zweiten Part vor uns nehmen, denn ich möchte einfach auch wissen, wie es weitergeht. Also, das ist jetzt so eigentlich ein gutes Ende, würde ich jetzt mal sagen, eines Spiels, was wirklich auch in Kapitelform angedacht war oder ist. Ein Visionär-Studio, okay, das auf der Basis, oh Gott, welche Spiele sind da? Da sind einige auf der Engine entwickelt worden. Okay,
I must have fallen asleep with my clothes on. What are you doing? Listen, Alice, about last night.
Remember that bomb that Catherine pointed out to you?
Yeah, I got it. I need to take a shower. You already told me.
We were wrong. The clue was referring to something else.
Hey, have you been up all night?
Everything is clear now.
Listen, I really don't want to.
Answer this, Detective. How long has it been since you've gone back to your roots?
Ooh, what?
I was just booking 2 plane tickets. We're going to Italy.
It's not over yet als Achievement. Fortsetzung folgt. Also wie gesagt, ich finde es auch als Kapitel oder eben halt als teilbasierte Serie finde ich auch den Schnitt sehr gut, weil man wahrscheinlich geguckt hat, Mensch, wie kommt das Spiel an? Und lässt sich das dann nachher auch finanziell alles stimmen. Ja? Das heißt, wir können dann hier ein neues Spiel machen und würden dann eben halt den zweiten Part spielen. Was haben wir denn bei Extras? Alles gesperrt. Na, sowas aber auch. Okay, gut. Ja, dann hätte ich gesagt, wir gucken gleich nochmal ganz kurz, ob vielleicht das ein oder andere da ist, was wir anspielen können. Ansonsten, hier, liebes YouTube, ist Feierabend. Vielen Dank fürs Zusehen und bis demnächst. Euer Firefox.